Hi, I'm Peter Rose, founder of Longwood Currency Trading. How to make Forex work for you. That's the topic that I want to talk to you about. And it's apocalyptic in its consequences if you don't understand the principles behind your life financially. We all have tools available to us. There's so many tools out there that we can make money on. We can learn how to work on cars and be a mechanic. We can be a firefighter. We can be a carpenter. We can be an astronaut, a janitor, pipe fitter. All of those are jobs and they're ways of producing income, but they take your time and your efforts in order to do them. And so if you're a janitor, there's only so many hours a day that you're going to be able to work. Even if you work two of those jobs, you might be able to only work 12 hours a day, maybe 15 hours a day. There's software engineers that are working 12 hours a day too, and they ain't get paid for it like you would in overtime. You just have to eat shit and live it. Software engineer for 33 years. A disclaimer there. Which I never bought into that crap. I gave them 45 hours, and when necessary, I'd sleep under my desk during code delivery. But you're at the beck and call of a company. You're limited in the kind of car that you can have, where you live, all those other limiting conditions that a job puts on you. Now, if you think you're going to work a job for 40 years and be able to retire comfortably, you may be misinformed. If you're in the top 20% or so of income earners, then you're going to be able to put enough money away that over time it will grow to be able to provide you that income. What sort of income are you looking to have? Today, in the United States anyway, if you're making $30,000 a year, which is the minimum wage here right now, $15 an hour, and if you're making $15 an hour minimum wage, you're not working one job, you're working two, because most minimum hour jobs limit your hours to 25 hours a week or whatever, so they don't have to pay you benefits and all the rest of the stuff. You're screwed. How are you going to save enough money? There's no pension in that. How are you going to save enough money? If you're working $45,000 an hour a year, how are you going to save enough money? You're paying $15,000 a year just in rent, if not $25,000. Food's expensive. Gas, insurance, all that stuff. Where's the extra money going to come? In order to put that money away so that it grows over time. It's really difficult. When I graduated from college, I went into grad school in physics and decided I wasn't smart enough for that and didn't know what I was going to do. The only skill that I had was martial arts, karate. I was a black belt in karate. And so I didn't want to move out to California, to where my folks had retired to, and work a gas station job until I figured out what I wanted to do with my life, because I knew that wasn't going to happen. So I took the bull by the horns and I opened my own karate studio, and didn't have any money. When I opened that, my folks gave me the money that they had saved for me, and I had saved a little bit of money over the years. And my net worth was $2,100. That was it, everything. I owned a car, and I was renting an apartment, and I opened a karate school, and I pushed it all to the center of the table. That was 1972. 1973, I had saved up enough money as a down payment for my first real estate purchase. But I had spent that intervening time studying all the different ways of making money, understanding that having a karate school business was not going to make me wealthy unless I broadened out and did lots of satellite clubs, franchised, or lived in the middle of some big city somewhere and had 500 students. I was in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, not exactly a metropolitan area. But I learned the rules of the game, and I started investing in real estate. So when I came around to retiring in 2015, I didn't have a whole lot of money in my 401k or my IRA at that point, because I had been a software engineer for 33 years. So that was the only time I really made enough money to contribute into a 401k. If you think you're going to be self-employed as a jewelry worker or something, selling art or whatever, and you don't have access to a 401k, and you don't want to go through the expense of setting up a SEP program, a self-employed retirement program, your IRA contributions are limited now to $6,000 a year, I think it is. I mean, count that up. You're going to put $6,000 a year into an account, and in 20 years you'll have, right, 6,000 times 20, $120,000. And that will have grown because you'll have appreciation of about 6% a year. Over 20 years, it's 6%, about 10 years to double your money. So let's say you've got $150,000. And guess what? That seems to be about the average savings right now for the 60-year-old average person, or median thing. Well, what can you do with $150,000 in retirement? You better not take $15,000 a year out, or you'll be out of money. It's the 4% rule. So you take 4% of $150,000, $36,000 a year, something like that. That's $600 a month. Social Security, if you've worked hard, might be $1,500 a month. So you take the $200 or $300, $500, whatever, add it to that. You're about $2,000 a month in income, of which you're going to be taxed on. And where I live, you can't hardly rent an apartment for $1,200 a month. So there's a disconnect here. Could you survive? Yep, you could do it in a maybe a manufactured home project or a mobile home project, or maybe just rent an apartment. What's the answer? What's the answer? You have to, first of all, learn how to make you work for your money. That's getting a job. But then you got to figure out how to make your money work for you. So what are your options available to you? We're going to put it in a 10-year U.S. T-bill at right now you get 4%. It wasn't but 6-7 months ago that it was 0.4% a year. You're going to buy real estate? I did that for 40 years. Retired a millionaire because of that. But due to economic crises along that 40-year period of time, I lost $1 million net worth twice. And I made it back each time, but it took me 10 years each time. That's a really rough road to hoe, right? So combined with my job income and rental income that was coming off, I had a pretty good life. And I've got a good life now. But I started early because I knew what was going on. If I had to start over, it wouldn't be in real estate because of the conditions of the real estate market over the last 8 or 9 years. I cashed out of my portfolio and moved to FOREX, currency trading. And I just did a video about that and the reasons why I got out of real estate and moved to FOREX. But how do you make that FOREX work for you? It's not enough to say, oh, I've got this neat vehicle, because otherwise you could say, oh, I'll trade crypto, for God's sake, stocks, trade cars, broker real estate, trade old tires. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do, but those are ways that you make your money work for you. You make the money compound. It isn't whether you work 12 hours a day or 4 hours a day. It's how efficient you work, because it's the money that's working for you. And once you get your money working for you, it's working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The Forex market, fortunately, is open more than any other market other than the real estate market. And even that isn't open. You know, it's real estate market is going to be closed at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not going to open back up until 10 o'clock the following morning. Same with the stock market. But you have very few markets that can beat the Forex market for the amount of time that it's going to be open. And you could have a carry trade in there that goes through the from Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, right, when the market closes, to Sunday 5 p.m. when it opens back up. You could still have trades running that period of time. You couldn't be out working your construction job over the weekend because everybody wants to take that time off. But in the currency market, you can do carry trades. In the stock market, you can do carry trades over the weekends. I prefer the currency market for 7 reasons over all these other things, and I got out of real estate. That's one of them that I prefer the currency markets over. And I can say that because I figured out why, to me, it's the most powerful method that we have available to us today in order to pay our light bill, significantly replace our job income, to replacing job income, and the stage that I'm in now, just having fun with it, and I'm pushing the envelope probably a little too hard sometimes because I'm trying to make $1 million doing it. I don't know whether I'll lose my enthusiasm for that because some of the risks that you take and the money that you lose really is necessary if you're going to make $1 million. And I know all about that because I've made $1 million. To simply taking it easy and making a reasonable percent gain against my risk, which is what? 2% a day on your bank. I mean, that's just stupid. You know, if you could strive for 0.5% to 0.8%, man, you'd be rolling in the money if you had a large enough account. I'm sorry, but if you're trading 3 minis and you're making 0.5% a day, that's why you don't think the currency market's going to work for you, because you're trying to make 2, 3, 4, 8% a day, and you're trying to do that with 200 to 1 leverage. It's all upside down and it's backwards. That's not how you make Forex work for you. That's how you lose your money. My advice to you, particularly if you're in that 21 to 34-year-old age group, which is that critical age group where you better figure out what the rules are so that you can implement those rules over a long enough period of time that when you get ready to step back from the table, you've got enough money that you can go and lay on a beach somewhere. And like I did, paid cash for my house when I didn't even have to sell my other house first, and then put $40,000 of renovation work into it without having to sell my other house. And to be able to have a 6-figure Forex trading account. Very fortunate. I understand that. But you don't have to look at me and say, oh, because you can make $300 or $400 a day or $1,500 a day when you trade, that's what you have to do. I don't have to do that. I don't have to make 10 cents in the Forex market. I do it because I enjoy it and I like it, and the extra money is going to be really nice too. That's why I think I'll back off on the dynamic push toward that $1 million because I don't want to go through all those ups and downs. There's no need for that. When I can make, with my bank, I could make 6 figures a year, poking along at. Well, what if you don't have 6 figures a year? Well, it means that you don't have a large real estate portfolio that you can cash out. It means that you don't live in a $800,000 house with a $200,000 mortgage that you can sell and then live off the proceeds of that. Whatever level it is that you're at, you have to look in terms of percentages. If you're making $30,000 a year and you're saying, oh, I would like to make $30,000 a year, do you think that you're going to be able to do that with $10,000 or $20,000? That's more than doubling that bank. It's 3 times your. If you've got a $10,000 account, you're going to try to make $30,000 off a $10,000 account. How do you do that? Some of these people out there are so stupid that they really believe these jackasses that you're listening to on these videos tell you how much money you can make. And the only reason they're making that kind of money, and they can tell you that you can make that kind of money, is because you're trading in unregulated environments at 200 to 1 leverage. At 200 to 1 leverage, you could take a $10,000 account and trade 20 full lots. So that's $200 a pip. Well, it doesn't take too many pips to make, $1,000, right? But what if it goes against you? What if it goes 10 or 20 pips against you? Well, you're gone. At $200 a pip, you're gone. I'm trading at $200 a pip, but I'm not at 200 to 1 leverage. I've got $10,000 behind every full lot that I'm trading. So I can do things that you can't do. Would you like to get to the point where you can do them? Great. Quit listening to these jackasses that are out there. And do you really think you're going to buy a course for $500 or $1,000 that's going to tell you how to make $20,000 a year, $30,000 a year? Do you really believe that? You know why they price the courses at $500? So that dumbasses will buy them and they can sell 1,000 of them. What's 1,000 $500 courses a year? What's 100? What's 100 $500 courses a year? They're making more money selling courses than they are trading. And why would they be doing that? Because their trading isn't really that strong. That's why they want to branch out into real estate. That's why they want to buy an exotic car that isn't going to depreciate like your little Subaru wagon. They don't know. So they buy these other things because they don't have the confidence to keep doing it. I'm not buying any more real estate and wouldn't. I'm not going to invest in stocks or anything. Why should I? Why should I start doing commodities? I'm good in currencies. I can make as much money as I've got banked to fund. And depending on how much money I want to make a day, do I want to make $20 a day? Do I want to make $2,000 a day? It's a function of your risk management and how much bank you have behind you. How do you make Forex work for you? Well, first you have to work for the education in order to learn how to do it. But trust me, you're not going to do it for a $500 course. You're not going to. And don't ask me about courses, because I'm tired of having people tell me it's too expensive. It is expensive. It's what a top-notch specialty attorney would cost you to carry your case out. Now, you do the math on that and figure it out. It's expensive. And the reason it's expensive is because I'm trying to help you get to take a reasonable sized bank that most people could come up with and get a really good jump on replacing your job income so that you can really learn these skills so that you can then increase your leverage, work on compounding, start staging, and have enough money that you're not trading regularly, but have enough money on the sidelines that when that big opportunity comes, you push it all to the center of the table and you make $6,000 or $8,000. That's what I did last year. I could make $300, $500, $800 a day as I was going through. Somewhere around that $500 range was pretty normal for me. I'm trading three days a week, I guess, and so I make I don't know, $1,500 a week or something, $1,000, so I get out the month, I'll have $4,000, $6,000, $8,000, something like that. But in 3 months, on 3 different occasions, I had $30,000 net months because I had the reserves. I know how to do this. I did real estate for 40 years. This is the way that you do it. Not a $500 course to learn how to do it. I don't want you to be lucky. I want you to be skilled. I don't want to be lucky because sometimes then the luck runs out. I want to be skilled. If you'd like the straight scoop, send me an email and I'll try to help you out and I'll try to put you on the right track. But if you want to really get serious about it and you want to spend some money in investing in your education, well, that's what you're going to have to do in order to get more than just what a PIP is and how do you do a trend line and what the London fucking Open is. It's amazing to me as an educator. I've spent 50 years, over 50 years, teaching martial arts and karate. I understand education. I understand the principles. And in martial arts, it could save your life. And now that I'm educating folks in the financial realm of trading, it could save your financial life as well. But that's all choices up to you. I may not have the personality that you like. I don't have many folks that have been, at this point, 2022. Sorry, we're in 2023. This is mid-January 2023. Many students, simply because if you want to learn, I assume you want to learn the same way that you want to learn if you came to me as a karate student. I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what needs to happen. And I'm going to expect that you do that work. And I expect that there's going to be communication between me and you as we go through this process, and that you're going to be reasonable about it. And the caveat that I give everybody is, I am happy to discuss things with you. I am happy that you question me and all that stuff, but don't fucking argue with me. Because I'm the one that's got the big bank. I'm the one that's making the money, and I'm the one that's willing to help you. So you want to argue with me, it means that you know more than I do. If you know more than I do, don't get involved and take instruction from me or anybody else. Fund your bank and make your money. Then you can piss downhill when you've got the money. But as Gordon Gekko said, it's all about the capital reserves. If you don't have them, you can't pee in the tall weeds with the big dogs. So that's all up to you as to whether you want to learn how to make this great thing that we have, FOREX, available to us, how you make that work for you instead of working your job and fiddling around with your too many lots, trying to make money with the too many lots. Let me show you how to make money. And if you decide that's not the right way, that's fine. You can go back and try to take your $8,000 and run that to $8,000 a year at 200 to 1 and see how that goes for you. How do you make your FOREX work for you? Educate yourself in reasonable returns and then backtrack your work so that you establish good rules that will lead you on that path. You can do that on your own. I know you can do that on your own. I've had a lot of people contact me. I've given them some basic hints and structure. They go, oh yeah, really? I've heard that before. Yep, you probably have. So it's coming from me. Listen to it. The thing that most people don't have is the order to put those things in and when to do them. Any shithead, even the people that don't know what they're talking about, can tell you what to do and they can tell you how to do it. Really. And it makes sense. But what they can't do is help you learn when to do that. When do you work on your garden? I can show you what the shovel is. I can show you what the garden is. I can show you how to use the shovel to till the garden and where to plant the seeds. Anybody can do that. You read a book and then you can tell somebody else how to do that. But that's your educational information that's out there. But you know what? If you plant that garden in the winter, it ain't going to work for you, right? And that's my premise about how I educate as opposed to how you see other people educated. And there are very few people that believe me, and that's okay. I'm retired. I'm not really looking for students. You don't have any fear from me that I'm going to try to sell you a program. I try to downsell the idea because I'm retired and I don't want to work with 100 people a year that I have to drag across the finish line. I want people to come along with me, and we form a community, and we're all working toward those same goals and communicating with each other because we have like purposes. So if you don't like me, you don't like my attitude, don't email me. It's pretty simple. How do you make the Forex work for you? Figure out where you want to get to, and then dry lab it backwards to what you have to do today and the next day and the next day and the next day, so that over a reasonable period of time with a reasonable amount of money behind you, you're able to achieve your goals. And then figure out what kind of rules it is that you're going to need in order to do that. It's really pretty simple. The unfortunate thing is that most folks aren't trained in order to break problems down like that. I was a software engineer for 33 years. I've got a degree in physics, almost a minor in math. I know how to solve problems. You know, so I know it's possible that you can do it on your own, but you may not have the background to do that. So you're going to need some help. So find somebody, if it's not me, find somebody that has that kind of background that they can show you how to put these pieces together to answer that all-important question, when do I do this stuff? I know all this shit, but when do I do it? Peter Rose, Longwood Currency Trading. Have a great day and have a great trading day.